We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
Hey, that's right. You know, we're always fighting them, and my God, right now it's a case of they're ramping everything up. So we really got to fight. I mean, it seems like every day this turns more and more into a clownish world. Oh my God, I was looking at something on Twitter just before we went live where, man, they're really pushing the eating the bugs thing like it's going to be normal. And earlier in the week, folks, I kid you not, if you go, and par for the course, it's the New York Times, but the New York Times put out an article, and I think it's supposedly an editorial piece, but this writer was stating the benefits, of cannibalism, okay? Seriously. I mean, seriously. We have reached peak idiocy when we are talking about killing and eating our fellow brothers and sisters. It's absolutely ridiculous. But this is the sort of mindset that these people want you to have. You know, and that's why, thank God, I'm doing what I do, and I feel so passionate about what I do because, you know, listen, I am in this fight till the end. I'm in this fight till the end. I am the voice, the eyes, the ears. I'm going to bring you the information because it's critical now that we have people willing to do so. If we don't, then we're just going to roll over and lose because there's too many people disorganized and not paying attention. You know, so I will say this, you know, World Economic Forum, New World Order. Listen, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. All right, because I'm done. It's not about the New World Order. I've got support. I've got people behind me. This is the Drew World Order, baby. I'm coming for you. And I'm not backing down. I'm not giving up. Hell, I don't care if I'm in a cardboard box. I'll broadcast from the damn cardboard box. But, you know, I am not going to roll over and lay down and just let what's attempting to be thrown onto us and just sit by and let it happen. I'm not going. Not doing that. So that's what this is about. And that's why I do the show the way that I do. YouTube be damned. But yeah, I'm a little fired up. But yeah, I mean, it just this is how I feel every day anymore when I open my Twitter and when I look at shit like this. It just it's downright evil, and it pisses me off. And I want to welcome into the stream our other panelist for the evening, our guest Ruben Christopher Haynes. How you doing, sir?
Very well, sir. Very well.
I've got, of course, the lovely Janet from Another Planet, and we have Will back in the house again. We don't have the usual suspects tonight, mainly because this is a makeup. I didn't get to do the show Tuesday. So I wanted to make sure that I bring you an episode this evening, albeit possibly an abbreviated one. But I am. I want to make sure that we at least get to some critical information, because one of the things that I want to talk about, the main thrust of the show this evening, and I know that there's going to be a ton of jokes in the chat, about the beware the Drew main thrust. Yeah, I get it, but
I don't get it.
Will. But anyway, it's great to see everyone, and I don't want to run over collectible pass too much, because I know Tommy, Vinny, and Trina are doing collectible pass at 8:00, so I'm gonna try to not run too much into their show, so that because there's a thing when you're a content creator, you kind of try to look out for your fellow content creators, especially your friends, and it's just good etiquette, and I think that's something that's lost in this arena. And those of you out in the audience that do YouTube and stuff like that, that's the thing. Not to steal a line from the old classic movie New Jack City, but be your brother's keeper. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, we're looking out for each other. And that's what we need to do, and you should do that in every aspect. You call somebody a friend, and you give your friendship. You stand by that. That's all. But let's get into the information that I got, because there's a lot of interesting stuff out there. CJ, I will check what you sent me here in a second. Oh yeah, I actually did see this, CJ. I saw that what you shared with me. This is there was a super city. It's literally a advertisement for a super city, and it's ridiculous. But this is what they want. Again, this goes along with Agenda 21. This goes along with what is now Agenda 2030. The super cities are what they want, because they want to centralize everyone, so that way they have the greater control. And yeah, it is very scary. And CJ's right. They do. They are willing to bulldoze homes if they have to. Right now they got a great scheme going on with BlackRock and those other companies buying up entire neighborhoods, making them, quote, smart neighborhoods, making them so that you're a renter for your entire life.
So you think they're going to be putting all those new Chinese people in it once we have to hand them over all our property because we owe them so much money?
Well, yeah, that's part of it, Janet. And speaking of the Chinese,
so they're finally calling a tab.
Yeah, well, speaking of the Chinese, by so much property and everything else, that brings us into our main topic. this evening, and and it's pretty bad, folks, when you've got the mainstream media actually raising a question about this, because this is a huge security issue, and this is mainly China buying up all of these, buying up all this property, and specifically areas where they put cell towers near all of these sensitive U.S. Facilities, Air Force bases. As you can see, there's a map on this article, and we'll pull up the graphic here. All right, just in Montana, right near Malmstrom Air Force Base, a bunch there. Grand Forks, North Dakota, Minot Air Force Base, a bunch there. South Dakota, Ellsworth Air Force Base. You see all of what the common thread is here, and this goes with the technology that Chinese company Huawei, those boxes that they put on the cell towers, they can be used technically to disrupt. Capturing and disrupting communications. That's what the FBI considers it. The Chinese would not only be able to intercept or even spoof highly classified communications, but also interfere with them. And this is by the most sensitive of the sensitive stuff that we have, which is ICBMs. So, it's ridiculous. So you've got the Minuteman missiles in these places, and China having essentially the capability to sit there and screw with these. This is not good, folks.
Well, how come our government hasn't zapped those cell towers then? If they know this, because they don't give a shit.
Well, that's the thing. We're sitting here compromised, and this is a major national security issue, and for whatever reason they're not taking it seriously. If we had a legitimate, competent administration in this White House right now, this would be a priority.
But if you talk to some of the people I've talked to in the last couple of weeks, there's supposed to be a shadow government. Don't you think the shadow government would even try to zap these things with drones? Fly a drone over it, zap, it's gone. Simple. They already know where they're at.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. They're just handing us over in a big basket with a bow on it.
Yep. They're building their own electronic warfare units into our national security grid. Exactly right, Mehdi. I mean, it's crazy. The Chinese don't have to do a single thing to really cripple this country. It's crazy.
Our government's crippling us up from the inside out. That China doesn't have to do it.
But it's pretty chilling. But this is why the Chinese have been buying up all this land around the United States, between the Chinese and then Bill Gates and everything else. My God, what's left for the normal people? But again, they don't want normal people to own the land. They want to exterminate as many people as possible. Let's be real. That's the end game here.
Well, they're already in that process.
Yeah, China's end game is they just want to bring the West down because they hate the United States. They hate the UK and most of the Western countries, because they feel like the United States especially has made them lose face over the past 100 or so years. But the thing is, it's not just that. And Tobat's right. No, the fact nobody is screaming about this, no officials are really stepping up and raising a fuss. It is scary.
It used to scare me. It actually scares me a lot less now because, unfortunately, And now it's a blessing and it's a curse to know what's going on. Unfortunately, I'm not really surprised that they're not screaming. I would have been a couple of years ago. I would have had these questions, but not anymore.
Well, one thing I don't understand is if this is the way it is, then why hasn't our government done anything? Don't they think that they'll be a target? I mean, do they think they're like oblivious to having?
Here's the situation when it comes to Huawei. Huawei has a contract with the Chinese government that they can collect data. That is why Trump stopped Huawei from coming into the United States, because of the situation it had here. Because, again, the United States government wants to be able to monitor ourselves, not have China do it. So that's why the technology is there. Every United States company has collecting data all the time. So basically, they're saying, no, it's up to us to do it. That's what they're doing there. In regards to what we're telling here, cell towers, yes, that's the whole idea, that they can control and they can monitor. And it's 5G. It's in every device. It's in your Alexa. It's in your television. It's in your router. It's in your Wi-Fi router. It's out there listening, collecting data.
Yeah, that's how you know when you're talking on the phone or whatever, or having a conversation in your living room, and then you go get on the computer to check your email, and all these ads pop up. They're showing you something that you've already purchased or you were talking about buying at the store, and I was like, what the? They know I want to buy donuts.
Those are the only ads I get. The only time I get ads is when I just purchase something from the same thing from the same outlet.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about having an Alexa in your house and talking to your friends or whatever in your house.
Oh, I won't touch that
about
stuff.
something. But even your cell phone. I know people that don't have an Alexa and they have a cell phone which is always listening to you. May not be.
Well, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about the cell phone. I won't do Alexa.
So there you go. I mean, anyone that thinks that they're not being listened to, or they don't know anything about you or know where you are or what you're doing, is an idiot if they own a phone. If they have anything electronic in their house.
Well, let me say this, okay? Like, if you sit here and think about it, the smart home, wonderful concept in theory, but when you get into it, there's so many vulnerabilities, backdoors, problems that potentially you could have somebody literally take over your home. Okay, so that in itself should be a deterrent for, because it's not always a case of, hey, let's update technology and it's going to solve all our problems and make it easier. Yeah, it might make it easier for you or make it your perception in your head that it's easier.
I was thinking about the latter as you said that.
But the bottom line is, hey, at the point that we're in right now, if you have analog things in your home, if you have a landline, if you have things like that, that's something you should hold on to. Hell, at this point, as cell phones become scarier to use, shit, man, we might as well go back to using payphones and popping a dime in. But it's funny because they sat there and took all the old analog lines and all the old original telephone line and got rid of that because they don't want people to have a fallback plan.
But think about it. You got all these classic cars driving on the road. If they did a pulse, an energy pulse, they'd still drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I was in a Best Buy recently, and they're still selling cordless phones where that you plug into the wall. Those still exist.
Well, I have a set of walkie-talkies that go 6 miles, so I can give one to my sister, and I'll have one. But people need to start thinking about stuff like that. You've got to have some type of technology that's going to protect you when our government turns against us. And you're not going to have banking systems. You're not going to have anything because they're going to shut off the power. And the only ones that's going to have money is going to be them, unless you catch something up or you're ready to barter.
Well, let me before we continue to get engrossed in our topic here, let me say hello to the chat bit, everyone. Good evening. Parrot Heads is in the house. These are our dude Medi, representing the great state of Maine. What's up, Medi? It's wonderful to see you. Of course, we've got Gap, aka Gap Stargate, now Gap After Dark. What's up, Gap? Good to see you, my friend. Well, one of my favorite viewers, John DeBelvis. John, thank you for your views and continued support, man. Appreciate you. You are a great American, sir. Mr. CCDB, former vet, good friend, and supporter of the channel, man. Thank you for being here, Mr. CCDB. Fury Kitten, what's up, Fury Kitten? Great to see Fury. Fury's been around. He's been around since I was doing Pegasus Actual. Papa Cotton, what's going on? Great to see you. My dude Godzillionaire, what's up, brother? CJ, me and CJ go way back. Love you, CJ. You know, Tahilim's in the house. Great to see Tahilim here. And, we've got, let's see, I know that Tobat is in the house. I've been highlighting a few of his comments. Trina is here, the lasso of truth. Thank you, Trina, for being here always. Trina is awesome. She is a huge part of what makes this channel great. And,
some booty.
Yes, she is. Another person that is integral in the success of this channel, I cannot say enough good things about Brightest Day and all the stuff that he's done. Zach, thank you for all the stuff that you've done in the past. Just being a great friend and all the stuff when you come back that I'm sure, you and I will do together. So it's good to see you, brother. And I hope everything's okay. Pinochet's Helicopter Tours is in the house. Yeah, this is a one-off, Tony. Making up for missing Tuesday. CJH is in the house. CERN and the Particle Accelerator. That's right, CJ. I remember you talking about that. And we will do a show more focused on CERN and stuff like that eventually. But yeah, this whole thing, I wonder about it because there's so many things in play. It goes back to our discussion about the BRICS, and I'm bringing, I'm tying this together, the correlation with the BRICS alliance, because specifically China is fascinating because it's almost like they're playing two ends against the middle, because in the end, they're going to do what they feel they need to do to benefit China. But if they can bring the West down along with it, more power to them, they figure. Okay. But I don't think that in the end, China is on board with the globalist thing, because China is not going to let itself be absorbed into a globalist cabal type of situation. They're not. Hey, there's a great friend of the channel, awesome person, and that is Tina Bochin. Great to see you, Tina, the Chicago gal herself. But I think that China is one of those fascinating situations where it's playing both ends against the middle. They are pulling the Palpatine card here. So, because they have played ball in the past, and you folks know that they've messed around and helped. They've helped the World Economic Forum types at some points, and they've also stood in the way of the World Economic Forum at some point. So, they are a real wild card. But the thing that you should not discount is the fact that, yes, they most definitely hate you. China is not a friend by any means, and they're not noble by any means. But they are playing both ends against the middle, because in the end, they don't want their country to fall. Orville Nation, hey PJ, what's up? PJ, actually, please get a hold of me later. I got a couple things I want to discuss with you. CJ, I don't know that North Korea is insane. I just think that they do a lot of posturing. They're trying to increase their cachet on the world stage by posturing and saying, puffing their chest out like, oh, don't fuck with me. But in the end, North Korea is just a petulant child, pretty much. They're not. I don't think that they're as much of a threat as you think they may be. BRICS is going to be the ultimate weapon used against the United States. They can and will form their own security council and hold their own sanctions on all American products in and out. Yeah, exactly, Mehdi. They are. They've already done that. They've already had meetings. They've already had, full on meetings across the board just for those countries. That is one of the things, again, that they don't tell you in the media. Nobody's covering the fucking BRICS. They're not saying, hey, American people, you should know about the BRICS. Nobody, where in the news, and on Fox News included, okay, the quote, fair and balanced other side, my ass, counter opposition. But the thing is nobody is talking about this in the media. It's up to independent journalists. It's up to people that keep an eye on the geopolitical stage and say, hey, look, wait a second. Something's rotten in Denmark here. And yes, the BRICS is a big deal because that's going to be the other side if there's a World War III. It's going to be the NATO countries against the BRICS. And, spoiler alert, the BRICS is probably going to win, folks. just say it.
Well, whoever has the food or is able to grow the food is the one who's going to win in the long run.
The World Economic Forum types have crippled the EU countries and the NATO countries to such a point that we're pretty much, a lot of these countries are ripe for a conquest.
Conquest, overhaul.
Yeah, Mehdi says they do not need nukes if they could shut down all ours from launching. Exactly. And that's part of this. Think about it. The most powerful way to neutralize an enemy without firing a shot is just shut down all their shit.
There you go.
The sad fact is that they're having two choices. You have, BRICS, Russia, and in Brazil and all the China, what they're doing, and you have the European, New World Order, what they're doing with Bullocks and all that other idiot. They want a public-private partnership. They want to have companies in bed with government doing all this stuff. China does that. That's how they work, and they want it here too. So it's basically, do you want to be burned slowly or instantaneously? It's still the same choice. So we have to stand up against this and say no more.
Well, we already have that with Amazon, Google, all those big corporations that shut down stuff whenever it gets in their way or they don't like what they have to say.
Yeah, that's why you have to call it out. Continue to call it out. And the way that I'm doing it, at least, because you say that your devices listen to you. My devices are configured not to listen. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to push and trying to find devices that don't listen to. Try and make your house smart, but not detectable. They're
not smarter than you. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, that's always been my philosophy on that. Make your house smart, but just be smarter than your appliances.
This house will never be smarter this house will never be smarter than me, considering that my parents still have tacky 70s wallpaper left in this home.
Let it come back around again. Everything does.
Well, what's interesting is that every single device now that you buy from your refrigerator to your dishwasher to your toaster has the chips inside to be part of the Internet of Things. You look that up, and that is 5G. That is everything that's going on. So even if you don't activate it, just the fact of it being plugged into an electric outlet, it starts to send data. And they've done an analysis. These people just go out and buy these chips from China, put it in their devices to connect to other devices, and that is how they get in. They can manipulate, they get into your network through these devices that are just sitting around that you don't even know. So a toaster could hack your computer. It really can, because it's connected to your network.
I can't wait to go downstairs later and and make a sandwich with something out of my rogue contraband fridge.
I mean,
Yeah, it's almost how you look at it. But
you already
Just
have
do that.
refrigerators that you can go in that tells you what to add to your shopping list. I mean, what else do we need that tells everybody that they know everything they need to know already?
no,
You're not hiding anything.
I don't want connected shit like that. I'm even against having, I know a lot of people have the Ring doorbells and security systems and stuff like that. I'm against that, and I always say, listen, my security system is SIG and Sauer. That's it. I showed Ruben my security system. He knows what's up. He knows what time it is. He knows what the security system is here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's about. I mean,
I know. I started knocking after I found out you got that thing just to be safe.
Yeah, because my security system is shoot center mass. I mean, that's the thing.
And I'm not exactly a small target, so
yeah. Fairy Kitten says laps in 1970s toasted sandwich maker. Yeah, the thing is,
I got a panini maker downstairs. Don't tread on me.
Those old appliances, man, they stand the test of time, folks.
Yeah,
No kidding.
Just use that thing.
in his bathroom too, from what I was told.
What's that?
You have a thigh master in your bathroom.
No,
from what
no.
I was told.
But that's what I do.
Let me be the first to say that thing hasn't moved in quite a while.
I would basically take electronics apart and fix them together. And again, you can do that. Go and get vintage stuff. Use that in your house. It's better built. It's well made. You can get it for a discount. You can restore it, use it online, and then you can basically. It's like, hey, yeah, it's old analog. Analog is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So that's what you should be doing.
I stop at the rotary telephone, but up until that, I'm in. Yeah.
I love Medi right here. All my appliances are good old analog because I do not want my washer and dryer teaming up.
Oh man, talk about the ultimate night terror.
Yeah, exactly.
Has anybody seen Five Nights at Freddy or played that game? Well, you'll learn.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take your word for it.
Yep. CJH says old fashioned off the grid wood log cabins with bunkers. Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Well, I'm not going full on Kaczynski minus the letter bombs.
The Time Prophet says I won't even have Alexa in my house. That's the way to do it, buddy. I will not ever own a fucking Alexa.
I just think she's snooty. I'm sorry. That's just me.
What if you meet a girl whose name's Alexa? Then what do you do?
Well, Alexa, I mean, it's not synonymous. I mean,
then I would be like, hey, do you have any Asian in you? And she said, says no, exactly. That's what I ask her.
Yeah, baby.
I know you could probably program it to do that, but
No. The only Alexa I want is what Janet said.
They have real dolls now that have.
Oh no, Janet, stop! No.
You're warping my fragile little mind yet again.
Hail Glinzer, good to see you, Glinzer. What's up? Marby Dog says
you guys were a bad influence.
Hail Marby Dog, by the way. I want the CIA to work for my info. Alexa makes it too easy for them. Yeah, exactly. Time Prophet says, my old socks have a memory. They stand up on their own. Oh, my God. I don't want to know. Uh, um,
We're
you
going off the
know,
rails again.
Fury Kitten. If you have no, I just I was gonna make a happy sock joke, but we'll just no. All right.
Rifle.
So so the thing is, um, with a lot of this technology, yeah, it's great, but at the same time, it has way too many vulnerabilities, and you have to at this point really work to stay undetected, and that's what's so important. Um, you know, you don't want to have every move tracked because the more and more we go down this road, we're headed towards Logan's Run, and if and I know it's
Oh,
an
good,
older
good
movie.
comparison.
I know it's an older movie, but folks, if you haven't seen Logan's Run, it's a hell of a piece of sci-fi, super underrated movie, and it's a classic. It's a classic. I mean, anybody that likes science fiction, that's a fucking classic movie. So
Yeah,
if you
but
haven't
Drew,
seen that,
I'm not even that big sci-fi fan, and I thought it was
we're
really good.
heading towards Solid Green with
well,
eating
yeah, that
bugs and
too.
stuff, and it'll be us next.
Well, that too.
Yum yum.
You know, because they are pushing.
Is it still
again,
called science fiction? Honestly.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good. Honestly, Will, that's a great point because
We need to rethink the name of that genre.
it's chilling to think that a lot of this stuff is now fact.
Yeah, science faction.
It's now moving to the coming soon section.
Yeah.
Science faction. That's what we should call it.
Godzillionaire says, "You eat the bugs, live in the pod, you own nothing, and be happy."
I never met those guys over there, but who knows? Maybe they talk like that.
Yeah, surveillance. China does have a social card, so exactly that's what ESG is. That's what they're trying to do in the rest of the world, man. That Tobat. That's what's going on. John, I wouldn't doubt that. Those the World Economic Forum types. Let's be real. They have a private army, and I've talked about that. If you go back and look at the stuff that was happening in Canada during the trucker protests, and Mehdi knows this because Mehdi and I have actually talked about this. They were using private military contractors. They have entire private military contracting organizations that they have on standby as a private army. And they have full-on equipment, the whole 9 yards. They have as much capability as a medium-sized country, if not a large-sized country, militarily. So don't think for a second that they aren't ready to go to a hot war if they need to. Marby Dog says, we are already in World War III, and it's a war on truth. It's being waged by corporate governments against humanity. Yes, it is. The corporations are all in on this.
And you got to remember, if we did have to go to war, they have like 35 to 50 people per person that we have here in America. So
yeah.
Remember that, people. That's a lot of people that are willing to do.
I consider this modern war. I don't really the way the war that's going on right now to me is just a more modern form of warfare. It's cleaner. It's and I think to a certain extent it's more efficient. It'll get the job done.
Yeah.
Let me address that.
Sending in ground troops and dropping bombs.
If it came down to it, and we had to fight them on from one country to another, we would win because we can out farm them. We can outdo everything with food and stuff like that. They don't have.
We have the capability to outdo them. Yes,
but let's.
I agree.
Let me go over to Ruben. Ruben, I know you were wanting to make a point. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically what Mehdi says here regarding all the data, basically what you do is they have metadata. They can collect all this. It's massive amounts of data. But again, how do they sort through it all? Through AI, deep learning. I'm in technology, so I know how to do this. I've done it where you can just collect the data and analyze it in real time. And again, we have supercomputers that can do this already, so it's already there. The Five Eyes have this. They're monitoring everything. That's what they do, and that's how it works. So just be careful, big time.
Medi's right. It is modern war without the kinetic aspect. Exactly. But yeah, it's crazy that this is happening. But again, I want people to understand and have your eyes open that this is happening on U.S. soil. This is going on right now. And, you know, and people need to be aware of this. So it just boggles my mind that you know what media has turned into, because you know I went into what I do with the mindset that you know I wanted to do it in an honorable manner, in the in a way that is it was supposed to be done, and the media is shit on that. They've gone away from that, and it really ticks me off.
That's because you are a real journalist. That's the difference. You actually give a crap.
CJ asked, Drew, is your website coming back? Eventually, I am going to get that going on. CJ, that is a grand idea. And if you want to reach out, you and I can talk about that because I've been kicking around that idea for a while. I think sickestofall.com needs to make a comeback because we need to print stuff that is relevant. So,
as the other side would call it, propaganda.
Well, yeah, anything that isn't,
take that as a compliment.
Yeah, anything that is truth is considered propaganda by them. Absolutely. I do want to address the other subject, you know, that I wanted to talk about this evening, which is, you know, just as we're talking about current things in the news, the recession. And, you know, I find it funny that we have all these people that say, oh, we're not in a recession. We're not in a recession, you know, and the current administration is telling you until they're blue in the face, we're not in a recession. But every single thing around you tells you, you know, if you look at it and open your eyes and you pay attention with common sense, we're in a recession. But they will bald-faced fucking lie and deny. That is just, it drives me up a wall because I know better, you know, and they're trying to redefine just in the past 2 days, or in the past 30 hours, actually, they've gone, there's been an active effort on Wikipedia.com, which, you know, we know better than to use Wikipedia. We take Wikipedia with a grain of salt, but there has been a concerted effort to literally go in there and edit the definition of what a recession is so that it supports the current talking point. Think about that. They're literally trying to change the definition of a recession just to make themselves be right. It's ridiculous.
And sad that people still watch the news and thinking that they're getting any kind of truth at all. They aren't.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But, you know, I'm not surprised because these are dirty tricks that, you know, the quote progressive left uses, the dirty tricks that the World Economic Forum types use because they want people confused, angry. They want to bring the most negative out of people so that they turn on each other instead of turning on the right people, which is turning on the tyrants.
media.
They want
that's
you
true.
to
It's another true
basically.
form of warfare. Let a species or a certain population exterminate themselves without having to lift a finger.
Yeah, it's
So
sad.
go ahead, Ruben.
Sorry, Ruben. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Basically the situation is they want you to be dependent on government. They want you to beg for government protection. They allow mass shootings because they want you to cry for gun control. They want economic turmoil because they want you to have food subsidies. They are telling the Dutch farmers to not grow. They're taking nitrogen out of the fertilizer in Europe, and now you're going to do it here, trying to do it here, so that the food is less nutritious and is going to, and then we have to be on the special something from either Monsanto, Bayer, whatever, some other government farm. We have to stop it now. It starts with us doing these things. We have to bring it to attention. And again, if they're going to call us liars, they've been doing this deniers for the last 2 years. We have to keep it ratcheting it up. We can't back down.
Yeah, it's amazing how far we've gotten when you have the people that are on running what we're on right now, and everybody else, where everything you go and try to speak on Twitter or any other app, and you're told F you, and they shut you off and nuke you.
Yeah, and then
So,
they
there you
can
go.
basically give death threats. They've done it to a bunch of people. I've seen the feeds, from Chrissy, from Candace Owens, from all that. They show that, and then of course I will say fuck off or shut the fuck up, and then I get banned immediately just for saying that. It's terrible. And they banned the word groomer. Now they're going to close accounts there. They've already shut down accounts for other people. Odin lost one because he pointed out the fact that there are two genders, and it's crazy. It is.
Yeah,
We're living in clown world, ladies and gentlemen. Crowd world.
Yeah, I was talking about Mambla years ago when it was brought up on South Park.
Love that
you watch,
episode.
they're going to start making Mambla a normal everyday thing, which they have done. Man Boy Love Association. That's what Mambla stands for.
That is a real thing for those of you who
Yes,
don't
have
know.
those
That
people.
exists.
And they've been pushing that for a while. And I kept saying, you just wait. It's going to be widespread. Everyone's going to be able to think, oh, it's nothing. Oh, it's just their point of view on what they think they should be able to have. Why shouldn't a small child be able to choose whether they want to have sex with a grown man? I mean, he's a fucking kid. All these people, they should all be put in prison. I'm sorry. I lost my temper.
Yeah.
If Jared Fogle had just been able to keep it under wraps until that finally happened,
Exactly. He would have been.
We'd still have the guy with the fat guy pants and eating the hoagies.
Just all of this makes me
good old days.
crawl. I just do not understand how these people get away with so much. And I tell someone to shut the F up because you're ugly or whatever, a stupid comment I might make, and then I'm banned for 6 days.
Exactly.
Bullshit.
Yep. But again, you have to remember, folks, everyone on TV, everyone in the government, everyone in big business is connected. The former FDA person under Trump, unfortunately, went to Pfizer. Anderson Cooper, who gives the news, is directly working for the CIA. He's a Vanderbilt.
Right.
Again, they're interconnected. The government, they leave government, go into private sector, make money. They do insider trading. They do all the bad things they say that we can't do, and they don't. And they just let it ride. They don't care. And again, they control the news. They control the computers and the networks. They control the phones.
And they
everything.
also control the movies and the TV shows.
Yep.
And
Steve
when they play a
Mnuchin.
documentary that you think is real, and it turns out that it's not real, and your kids are like going, "Oh, it's real, it's real." They believe the teacher, and they don't believe the parent.
He did marry a hot girl.
They brainwash our kids from school. By the time they graduate and go to college, they're like, "Fuck mom and dad," when they live in their basement and you're paying all their bills. So
Ruben, what are we talking about here? You married a
Some
young
both
girl. Come on, let's stay on subject, man.
Well, the thing is, and Wook brings up a great point. The formula for world domination is always the same. The only thing different every time is technology. Plan is always the same. Yes, it is. And I was on Wes Moody's stream last night, and I told Wes, look, pay attention to when we were growing up as kids watching G.I. Joe. It's the same shit that Cobra was doing. All
Yep,
right. It's the same
that's
shit
right.
that Cobra was doing. Same kind of plan. You know, all you got to do is just be based, think with your own head, and you can see the things, you know, you can even see it at street level with your local government. And that's why it's so important. I will always hammer the desk and tell you that, look, if you want to get involved and stop a lot of this, get involved in local government, you know, because that's where it starts. If you reinforce your locality, then reinforce your state, then reinforce, you know, you build up from there. Because, you know, remember, um, if you use the principles of the Constitution, because that's what it's there for, okay, the Constitution tells us it is within our rights. If the government gets too tyrannical, we are not only, we have a duty, number one, to depose that government, but it is perfectly within our rights to say, okay, you're not doing what is right for the people. You are actively being tyrants. It is within our right by the Constitution to turn that government over and say, look, you know, I'm the captain now. Get the hell out.
Yeah,
Sure,
and it starts at the elementary school. It starts at the school boards. And it starts with the parents actually reading what their kids are bringing home from school and helping them with their homework. And they know that you have to have 2 jobs, 3 jobs to pay all these taxes and bullshit that the government keeps laying on us. So they know that we're having a hard time trying to make sure we're keeping the families together. They love it. They're eating it up. They're just like lapping it up like lap dogs, chewing on our legs, and they don't give a shit. And it just makes me so angry. I'm sorry. I'm losing my temper.
But that was the whole point. The whole point is the fact that that's people got to remember the Vietnam War was based upon a hoax. And they sent off our brightest and bravest out there. In turn, what they did in the inner city, they put in drugs and all that stuff. They wanted to get the black people addicted and then the Hispanics addicted, and they wanted to break up the black family. And then they succeeded there. And the same thing, they took all those men, 55,000 died in Vietnam for nothing. And then we lost that generation. Now you have kids that are right now that don't know how to do anything, can't boil a fucking egg, can't take care of themselves, and depend on mama government. Dad, government harder, daddy, is what they're talking about now. They want more government. Let's say it.
Well,
You know,
until they say, well, you can't.
The fact that they
eat
pass
that
these kids, the fact
control, and you can't get fat, and you can't do this because we won't take care of you. Then they'll start being pissed off. You see what I mean? But that's too late. Then they've already handed over all their rights.
the fact that they also make a conscious effort to pass kids grade through grade, some that shouldn't be allowed to, like people graduating college that, you know, probably don't have the job skills of a 7th grader. I hate to say it.
well, me being a
Too many of
wrestling
those.
well, me being a wrestling fan, you know, Janet, to your point that you just made right here, I have a hard time trusting anyone now. Yeah. You know, you go by that old adage, that great quote from Stone Cold Steve Austin. He said, "DTA, don't trust anybody." And, you know, and that's what
And he said it just like that.
That's exactly what you got to do. You
The one
don't
thing-
trust anybody.
The one thing I have learned is I trust Drew. Okay. I trust my friends that I've met through chat rooms on YouTube. Think about that. Okay. I've made friends on these different apps and I trust them with my banking. I mean, tons of questions that I asked to learn things, which is who would have thought that 15 years ago? I mean, honestly, but I do. I trust them more than I trust the mayor of my town. I mean, it's like, it's I don't know. I can't even find a word for it. It's just unbelievable.
Well, listen.
I can think of a couple that have 4
we'll-
letters.
We'll get into you know, more stuff, like, because I want to talk about you know, at some point in a future episode, having a possible convention of the states and things like that, because the citizenry needs to take action. We need to pay attention to what these other countries are doing, because they are actively standing up. Well, the reason they're not showing you footage of the protests by the farmers over in the Netherlands is because they don't want other people to learn how to properly protest and actually cause controlled but effective chaos and stop the government from trying to overreach and physically do what they are trying to do. They don't want you to know. So that
I'd say we certainly have our heads up our asses when it comes to how to protest here. I'll be honest.
Yeah, the left gets it because they know how to organize, but the other people, the average person, the ones that leave the left or are on the fence, or people on the right, they don't understand how to organize. Well, how you organize is you listen to, number one, independent voices, and then you network with like-minded people, you share information, you share ideas, and you organize. But people don't want to do that because, again, to your point, Will, we have generations now that are so coddled and so lazy, they don't understand organizational skills. They don't understand how to wipe their own ass.
Well, you also have to remember, Drew, is that people are afraid to say anything. I mean, I talk to people every day on Twitter that are afraid to post something or retweet it because they go, "Oh, I'll lose my account." And I'm like, "So I'm on my 4th account. You're going to lose your account if you tell the truth. That's what happens." But people aren't willing to sacrifice something because they think, well, they'll lose their 14,000 followers or whatever. It's like, fuck it, start over and go from 1. If they really matter, they're going to follow you again. That's what matters. But people don't
take the advice, or at least follow the philosophy of people with offshore banking accounts.
I'm cussing so much.
Get your offshore Twitter accounts and put them in reserve and.
All right. Well,
passionate about it.
Well, it is now 7 minutes past the hour. It's 8:07. I want to make sure that again, out of respect and everything else, I want to make sure I don't run over too far into collectible past, because I know what that means to Tommy and Vinny. And Tommy's one of my brothers, man. I love Tommy, and it's same thing with Vinny Art, and same thing with Trina. So I'm going to urge everybody, if you can, check out Collectible Past and go over there and give those guys some support. If you want to support this channel, and I have it up in the pinned messages, folks. We are about a third of the way funded on Mom's memorial fund, and I know that some people sometimes send stuff through PayPal, which that's here if you want to, send something to keep the lights on, eat and pay bills and whatnot, because listen, the situation hasn't gotten any better. I'm still on the struggle bus. I'm super struggling. The mortgage is behind, utilities are pretty behind. I need all the help I can get right now, because unfortunately the reality of the situation is, as much as I love Mama Heretic, when she passed, I inherited a whole world of shit. I really did. And I started off severely behind the 8 ball because there was a huge hole to try to climb out of. I'm doing my best to do that. But any help, even sharing out the link, even sharing out this link is appreciated, So if you could share out the campaign for Mom's Memorial Fund, or if you decide to throw something at PayPal, whatever you decide to do, until I get the channel remonetized, I mean, these are things that we're going to have to lean on. But, if you can, it's givesendgo.com/Taylor Legacy. Share it, or if you want to choose to donate to so much in advance. And, I just appreciate you guys because I do this for you. I do this for the audience. And you guys are as much part of this show as everyone on this panel. So I want to say thank you to that. I also want to welcome Kai. I saw that Kai MFS stopped in here. Hail to you, Kai. Great to see you. Love you, buddy. And, thank you again for just your support, your kindness, your loyalty to the channel, for coming to every show. You guys are amazing, and you continue to be amazing. Thank you to Trina. Thank you to Tina Bojan, all the wrenches, all the people that work hard to really help me out. And again, thank you to Brightest Day, people like that. Man, I love you guys. But yeah, even struggling, like I said, I don't care if I'm homeless. I will find a way to broadcast, even if it's out of a cardboard box. That because I feel passionate about my country. I feel passionate about what I'm talking about, and I want to save this country. So, that's the bottom line, because Supreme Heretic said so. So I will go over to Ruben and let him say a few words about what he's got going on. Then we'll go to Janet, and then we'll go to Will to close it out. And you guys have a great night. So go ahead, Ruben. The floor is yours.
Yes, Drew, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. You're a good friend. And again, you're spot on in everything you've been doing, and I support you 100%. I myself am getting back on track. I just started a new job, so things are looking up for me. And I'm still going to continue to get more clients. Again, this illness is not going to stop me. I'm going to keep fighting back every single day. I promise that everybody who's donated to me, you're going to get paid back, because that's what I do. What I'm doing now is I am going to be launching soon, hopefully in the fall now, not associated with. I already have a channel on Odyssey, and it's basically, I want to interview you. I want to help you, support you, get you out there. I'll have my videos out there chronicling my illness, what I'm going through, and I'm fighting back. I am not going to give up, and I don't want you to give up too. Realize your dreams. You can be the next Eric July. You could be the next whatever you want to be. It doesn't, again, you're out there doing it. So support you, and let's get it going. Take care. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ruben. Let's go over to the lovely Janet from another planet.
I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming tonight. And if you'd like to, I started making short videos about my book that I wrote. And I also have the link to read my book online if you want. And it's called Revelation. It's about two sisters that are on the run from Great Britain to America, being chased by vampires. So if you're interested in that, you can come check that out. And try to watch my videos. I just make shorts. That's all I make. And my videos that I make about my book are only like 10 to 15 minutes long, because everything I do is going to be small. But I'd really appreciate if you come check me out. Thank you very much.
And finally, we'll go over to the local guy. Well, not really local. He's about 45, 50 minutes away from me. But
Jesus, how fast do you drive, man?
He's my good friend. It's my good friend Will.
Oh. Yes, that's right. Il Capo, the boss, the one and only. But you can call me Will. Quick shout out to my new pen pal. Hold on a second. For the life of me, I can't pronounce this. Xi Jinping. As we continue our campaign for the safe and comfortable return of Brittany Griner, who has been so unjustly charged for a crime she probably did not commit. For those of you who know me at all, you know that I don't mean any of this. Moving on. Please read Janet's book. I know I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to, and you should read it too, because I'm sure it's fantastic. Keep funding Mama Heretic. The woman was a saint. And keep up your support for our new friend, Ruben. Ruben, it's nice to meet you here, and I hope to do so in person in the not-too-distant future. Out.
All right. Thank you, Will. And, thanks again, everybody. And remember,
I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending. We're changing people's lives.
that clip always gets me, I swear.
Taking our money.
That clip always gets me. Oh, jeez.
Hasn't gotten old yet.
Where's the cocaine when you need it?
Spending $150 million on cocaine would make sense.
Exactly. All right, folks. We will see you later. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, man. I love you guys. And we will catch you Sunday for Through the Midnight Prism. I've got actually a really good topic. We're going to talk about the Loch Ness Monster. There was an interesting thing that dropped about the Loch Ness Monster that it could actually be plausible. Some new evidence that has been looked at. So I want to really talk about that. So I look forward to doing the Midnight Prism on Sunday. So make sure you guys catch that. That'll be about midnight or midnight, 12:30 Eastern window, around there. Late Sunday night, early Monday morning, whatever you consider it in your time zone. And until then, I will see you Sunday. And we are out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm E. Temple Kuian of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, True Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? You didn't get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tony, Death, rockin'.